Okay, so we all know that there's an issue going on over in Eastern Europe between Ukraine and Russia. Now, for whatever reason, one of the two countries, I really don't give a shit who it was, mined the Black Sea. So now Ukraine has an issue getting their grain out to the rest of the world. We could be coming into a pretty big grain shortage. Now, what do we get from grain that is a prepper staple? Flour. So, you know, I got to thinking, what other alternatives can we use other than flour? Or what can we use to make flour other than wheat? And, you know, I came up with quite a bit, actually. Hang on here. So, as soon as this computer will access the internet, there's quite a few different type of plants that we can actually, or not exactly plants, but different things that we can use to substitute substitute wheat for flour. Do this. Okay, so the different things that can be used to make flour are barley, buckwheat, corn, lima beans, oats, peanuts, potatoes, soybeans, rice, and rye, but not only limited to those things. So let me, obviously things like buckwheat, corn, oats, rye, other than the obvious suspects right there. You got a few other kind of interesting ones. You got beans, and you got rice. So you can make flour out of rice. Very interesting. I'll do a different video on that one later. But this one is about something a tad bit different, not listed on this. And this one is acorns. So, you can actually use acorns to make flour and then acorn bread. So first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to gather the acorns. Gather your acorns, and then, you know, I'd say get them off the ground because it's going to be easier, and those are the ones that are going to be dry. Then you're going to want to inspect all of the acorns, ensure that they don't have any cracks, or they don't have any holes. Things like a weevil could have gotten into it and started eating it. Things like that. So anything with holes, cracks, just discard, put it back to nature. Then you're going to want to put all of those acorns into a Tupperware type thing, fill it with water, and anything that floats to the top, you're going to want to get rid of. So any acorns that float to the top, just get rid of. Any like debris, just get rid of. And then you're going to want to take those acorns out of the water again and then dry them. However you want to dry them. If you want to dry them in the oven, you can go ahead and do that. Just do it on low heat. I would say nothing higher than 180 degrees. So, then once your acorns are dried out, then you're going to want to crack them all open. And this is where things are going to get time consuming. So crack them open, and then go inspect all of them over again. Anything rotted inside, discard. Anything with mold, discard. And then when you're done with that, you're going to want to scoop all the meat out of the acorn. I don't know what it's called exactly, but you know, that's pretty much what it is in layman's terms. Is scoop the meat out, and then you're going to want to put that meat into another clean Tupperware bin, fill that with water, and fill that with water and let it sit overnight. What this is going to be doing now is you're going to be cold leaching these acorns or the meat. So make sure this water is cold that you're using. Let it sit overnight. The water is going to turn a dark color. This is fine. This is normal. This is called cold bleaching because acorns have this thing called tannin. Tannin, not Buford tannin, not Mad Dog tannin from Back to the Future, but tannins are in acorns something that is bitter. So this cold bleaching is going to take the tannins out of the acorn, but this is also going to be a very long, time-consuming process. It can take up to 7 days, so be ready for that. So overnight, when the water turns a dark color, you're going to want to dump the water out, keep the meat inside of the Tupperware, dump the water, and then pretty much repeat. Repeat the process until there is no more dark color in the water, or no more color in the water, should I say. When that process is finally done, then you're going to want to dry out the acorn again. Again, you can do it in the oven, you can do it out in direct sunlight. Just make sure you vent the oven so that the moisture actually gets out of it. Then what you're going to want to do is, now you're going to crush the meat. So with like a grinder or a blender, you're going to want to grind and or blend the acorn meat into a fine powdery substance. This is going to be your flour when it's all done. This is going to be your flour. And then from here you can go ahead and make your bread or your muffins or whatever, you know, any of your baked goodies. So, you know, you can use this acorn flour as a substitute for, you know, the flour that you find at like Walmart or H-E-B, or if you live in Australia, Woolies. So yeah, guys, I'm not going to explain how to make the bread in this video because it's just going to be like making bread any other way, except you're going to be using the acorn flour instead of regular flour. So, guys, I hope y'all found this informative, interesting, and or entertaining. Y'all have a good one.